Hello guys, how you doing? So today we're doing What If Deku Was a Psychic, and yes, Flare What If here is back. Pretty much, I'm going to be doing my series, which is a Psychic Deku, and pretty much Hudbud's doing his own series on Silver Touch and Phantom and PWY we do not know yet. They are unknown, an unknown X Factor. So pretty much I'm going to record today like normal. I record on Thursdays, so you'll only be seeing my beautiful face or hearing my beautiful voice on Thursdays. I'm sorry, but maybe I'll post twice a week just to get rid of that gap in your hole. I mean, the hole the hole in your heart or something or whatever. So yeah, I'll do two maybe if I can. But I'm only doing one series for right now, and Hudbud's doing another. He'll be doing his tomorrow. I'll try to force him onto it. And yeah, where I left off, Deku looked at Bakugo and smiled. Or he said, "You'll see." Bakugo walked away in a rage, and Deku smiled, knowing what's going to go next. He walked away and bumped into All Might, saying, "Hello, young Midoriya." Because I think he remembers his name, because Deku said his name was Zuko Midoriya. And he says, "I don't have time." And he says, "I have to talk to you." Deku looks at him and says, "I don't want your stupid quirk." And All Might was like, "How did you know that?" He's like, "I can read your mind." He walks away and he says, "Stop." And he's like, "What do you want now?" He's like, "You're getting my quirk." And he's like, "I'm not." He's like, "Why?" And Deku says, "I just don't want it." It's like forcing a quirk onto somebody that they don't want. They don't want it, then don't ask. Deku walks away, and All Might looks shocked, kind of, and tries to stop him, but Deku's already gone. All Might is kind of angry, but he understands. Deku is at Dagobah Beach the next day training, and it's on a Saturday, so yeah. I'm sorry if you're getting so many notifications. I get too many notifications, and I should just go on Do Not Disturb, so I'll be right back. I think we fixed this problem. I'm sorry for all the notifications you're seeing me get. And yeah, so let's just get back into the video. I'm sorry if you're hearing this. So, Deku walked away. And actually, no. Where was I? Oh yeah, he was cleaning the beach. He wasn't training his quirk, he was actually training his physical body. Even though Deku has damn near infinite strength, it's not infinite. So Deku's training his body for the next 6 months. Then he goes to training his quirk. He's using telekinesis, pyrokinesis, electrokinesis, hydrokinesis, chronokinesis, and a lot of other things to actually destroy or yeah. And he can hear someone's thoughts. All Might. And he sees that he was getting ready to look for something, and he saw Deku training, so he just buffed down, and he was like, "All Might, I know you're hiding." And All Might's like, "How do you?" And he's like, "Oh, you can read my..." "Yes, I can." He's like, "I didn't even get to finish my in Deku's sentence." He's like, "Come on." He's like, "No, thank you. I'd rather watch you suffer." He's like, "Well, that's rude." And Deku says that before he could finish it. And he's like, "Come on." He's like, "So what do you want?" He's like, Can you please take my quirk?" And Deku says, "No, thank you." And yeah, Deku says, "I don't really want your quirk. If I wanted it, I would have had it." And Deku walks away, and he stops cleaning the beach entirely. Deku walked away and said, So now leave me alone. He sees a blonde-haired kid across the street. Bakugo, pretty much muttering to himself like, "Damn Deku," and pretty much almost like, young Midoriya won't take it. And Bakugo stops, looks at him and says, "What did you just say?" And he's like, "Well, nothing, sir. Nothing, kid. Kid, you don't need to worry." And he was like, "You said Midoriya. That's Deku's name." It's like, "Oh, so you know him?" He's like, "Do I know him?" "Yes. He's been acting like he's quirkless his whole life and it's been pissing me off. So I've been taking walks to cool my head." And the shriveled man said, "Well, why don't you just train?" And he says, What? If you actually train more, you'll actually get stronger. And it'll get your mind off of what Midoriya said to you." And yeah, Bakugo takes this advice to heart. And for the next 4 months, he's trained. And yeah, let's just go to the entrance exams. Deku right now is as smart as Nezu. Almost, maybe even smarter. And yeah. So yeah, they go for the written portion. Deku actually aces the exam in like 2 seconds. And yeah. Then after that, after he does that, what does he do? Oh yeah. After that, he sits down and goes to sleep because he pretty much did it immediately. Like 3 hours later, they all finish and Ida sees Deku sleeping. And Bakugo has a flashback. When like 10 months ago, like before the 10 months of training, like before he actually even blew up his notebook, he pretty much woke Deku up in his sleep. Deku punched Bakugo, enraged. Remembering that Deku has a quirk and he wasn't using it, he tells Ida to stop. And he's like, well, he's asleep. He must be woken up. He taps Deku and Deku's eyes shoot open. He looks at Ida immediately. His eyes are red now. And he's starting to use telekinesis to lift everything up in the room. And he says, "You woke me up." And he said, "Yeah, I did. You're not supposed to be sleeping." And he pretty much stops when he said that. And Ida starts screaming. And Deku sits back down. And he pretty much used an illusion to pretty much kill his whole family, all of his friends, and his brother right in front of his face. It wasn't Deku who killed him, it was just a person. But it was an illusion. Ida woke up like 10 minutes later and yeah, they all scolded Deku about what he did. He was like, "He woke me up, he made the mistake." And yeah. Deku says, "Well, I'm going back to take my nap." And he's like, "Don't you need to?" He's like, "No, I don't need to." He's like, "Why? Are you going to be thinking the words that you're going to say?" He's like, "Before you say it." And he's like, "Maybe." He's like, "Then I don't need to. I can read your mind." He pretty much puts his legs up in the air and says, "Now go. Keep talking." And he talks about everything Deku needs to know and some secret information that no one actually knows about the exam. And Deku's like, "Good to know." And he remembers what Deku said about him able to read minds, and he's like, and he says out loud, "Shit." And he's like, "Why'd you say that?" Is what Ida said. And he's like, and he talks about, he doesn't talk about the 0 pointers because he doesn't want to wake up Deku. And he's like, "Why would you say that?" And he was like, "He can read my mind." And he just heard the information that I was not supposed to talk about out loud. And yeah, I was supposed to let the students know before it actually happened. Deku walked out. They all go to their little training area, and yeah, Deku says, "Well, that was fun. That was a good nap." And says, "Well, I hope I have a new one soon." He goes towards the area. He's about to talk to Uraraka. Deku didn't trip in this timeline either, and he's about to go talk to Uraraka. Yuta thinks about stopping him, but out of instinct, he already stopped him. And yeah, Deku stopped moving. He turned around, and he saw One Eye Red again. He's like, "Wait, he saw One Eye Red," and he was like, "Wait, I'm sorry." And he was like, "Okay." And he goes back to talk to Uraraka. Tells Uraraka, "Don't be worried. You can pass him. I bet you can pass." He's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I can see the future. And in my future, I can see that you make it into the entrance exam. You pass and make it to class 1A. And I still expect the same from you." This pretty much motivates Uraraka. So yeah. And he thought he was trying to sabotage, but he was not. He heard what Deku had to say. And Deku looked at him and said, "In your future, I see rage, hatred, and also..." And Deku stops. And he says, I also see in your future sorrow. Don't let it take over you." And Deku looks up into the air and pretty much looks through the walls and sees Bakugo's future. He pretty much gasps and says, "This is terrible. I have to stop this." So yeah, I'm going to leave it off here. You might be like, "Jerk, I'm sorry. I'll actually do a longer video tomorrow." So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out and goodbye, everyone. See ya.